Right? Can't find my belt. You know, the sole one that I have, so here we are. Trying to tuck in my shirt, make sure I got something to hold up the outer rim, but
you know what would help?
If I had a belt.
No, pajama jeans.
Nice. We are not sponsored by pajama jeans, but if we were, that's the kind of sponsorship you'd get.
Yeah. From the Scott Enterprises brand.
Yes, for this AdultDeck podcast. Welcome to the AdultDeck podcast, the place where you come learn how to stack your cards against the game of life.
You really need to get those graphics, man.
I know, right? I am your host, Sharon Scott, and I'm joined by my husband and co-host, Mr. Peter Scott.
What's up, y'all?
And today, as I promised, we are coming back with the second half of our WandaVision watch review, spoiler theories.
Greater MCU theory, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, the final 4 episodes are out. They aired, last week was the last episode?
Last week was the last episode.
Man, this little filler break that we have this week with nothing to watch is kind of a drag. We got to wait till next week for Falcon and Winter Soldier to come out.
Yep.
And it's just like, ugh.
And I feel like almost all of our shows have just been like, all right, we just randomly gonna take a break in the middle of like
just
everything.
For nothing. Like, down to the Daily Show. Like, what is y'all doing? I want my news now. Granted,
everybody needs like rest and relaxation and all that good stuff. However,
just not randomly in the middle of for nothing.
I'm like, did I miss a holiday? Like, what's going on? Was it President's Day? Something. Man. But today, we are talking about WandaVision.
So where do we leave off?
We left off with episode 5, the end of episode 5, and finding out that Pietro is coming to stay with Wanda for a little bit, and the twins aging up. Pietro. Oh, yeah. Fake Pietro.
That's what they're calling him.
Really?
Yeah, Pietro. I mean, I think that's what she called him in the show.
Probably, honestly.
It's just over the head.
So, ended with that, and we're going to go right into episode 6.
Yeah, so episode 6. We were just talking about this.
We were. Just bloop, 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 bloop. See, episode 6 was the Halloween episode.
The Halloween episode where everybody's coming in their comic accurate outfits.
Yes, it was so cute and adorable. So Vision is Halloween, and they're like, all right, we're going to take the boys, go trick-or-treating, spend time in the town and whatnot.
Yeah, big Uncle Pietro is out causing mischief with the kids in the beginning of the episode.
Yes.
They go out, and I guess the neighborhood watch comes to Wanda, and it's like, I don't know what's going on in the neighborhood, because as soon as he finds out something happening, it's what the kids and Pietro just did, because, you know, speedsters.
And then Vision wasn't there because Vision like told Wanda that he was part of Neighborhood Watch.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, bye, I gotta go.
But he wasn't.
Fun with the kids.
No, but he wasn't. He was actually just going on to survey the town because Vision's kind of woke at this point. He's like, something's not quite right about this. He's
never been outside of Westview, so he's kind of see what the rest of the world is like if Westview is like this.
And then as he gets further and further out to the edge of town, he kind of sees that, like, these people are stuck in a loop. Like, there's one lady who's just, like, standing there, putting laundry on the hoop, like, one at a time, just going back and forth.
Crying. Because she's moving extremely slow. Like, as you get further outside from Wanda's epicenter of the city, it's the less control she has, so it's the slower things operate. So I don't know what part of her life she was in at this point where she was hanging up clothes, but she's been doing that for a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a while at this point. So Vision then stumbles upon Agnes, who's like at the end of the street.
Yes.
At the end of at the edge of the hex.
On the way out at that little earlier in the show, this was the road she tells her kids not to go past.
Yeah.
She was like, do what you want. Just don't go past such and such street because she doesn't know what'll happen when her kids leave the hex.
Right.
Because, just like Vision, they're not real.
We don't know that.
They're not real. So, yeah. Vision has his encounter with Agatha. Mm-hmm. Agatha's, I guess, showing that she doesn't know why she's there.
Yeah.
She kind of got confused and turned around about where she was. He kind of turns off the hex filter that she has going.
Hex filter. I like that. Hex filter. Mm-hmm. And then she kind of what I suspect as she kind of just plays along with oh, I don't know what's going on. What's happening to me? I'm so lost.
Yeah. She was like, only a select few of us aren't deep in this conscience jail cell or whatever. So they have some say of what's going on out here as long as you're playing along with Wanda.
Yes.
So.
And then she just so Vision's I don't know what to do here. Pretends to put the blinders back up. And then she's like, oh, well, I'm going home now. As if nothing ever happened. Yeah. And that was weird. I was just See, if you watched the last episode that we did on WandaVision, my theory that I've been working with is that Agnes is if you've seen the rest of the show, you know. But
we're leading up to it.
At this point, I was just oh man, did they just debunk my theory?
Nah, she's just a great actor.
Yes.
Actress. There you go. So yeah, that pushes Vision further along on his quest, and he goes further and further to the edge of the barrier until he starts walking out and he collapses.
Yes. So he walks out to see all of the sword agents just kind of out there oh, what's going on?
They notice that Vision is walking towards the hex, so they all converge on his spot.
Yes. So Hayward this whole time has been tracking Vision, which is weird to me.
It's so is this the real Vision?
Who knows? Does he have parts of the organic matter? But according to Hayward at this point, Wanda stole Vision's body, so who knows?
So, Vision proceeds outside the hex, and like I said, he starts to collapse and deteriorate and kind of go back to his broken self.
Yep.
And this is when Wanda finds out her other child has powers.
So we go back to the inside of the hex, right at the epicenter where everybody's enjoying Halloween, and we find out that one of the twins can actually feel people's. He's kind of like an empath of sorts.
He's like Wanda. He can read minds, feel people's emotions, all that good stuff.
Telepathic?
Yeah.
Telepathic.
Let's go with that. So he feels his daddy dying. And he's like, Mommy, no.
So Wanda's in distress, and she's just all right, let's go ahead and push this out.
Until she can get to him. She's rushing, but she realizes that Vision's dying faster than I can get to him. So, she pushes the hex out. That converges over Vision. He gets better, but also all of Hayward's men that were there gets caught up in the hex now, and now they're a part of the circus.
Yes. So, that is the end of episode 6. We open up episode 7.
And Wanda needs a her day.
Yes.
A me day.
Me time.
Now, if you watched our last episode, you understand how important me day is.
So Wanda's getting some me time. She's clearly depressed. She's just wearing a robe. She has no idea what's going. Not no idea, but she's just doesn't have a care about what's going on. She's down in the dumps essentially. Her
and Vision are throwing shade at each other at this point. She's like, "Oh, where are you going?" Vision's like, "I'm out," and she's like, "You know what? Not dealing with that."
I thought that was the last episode. I don't think she's seen Vision at this point.
Yeah, she did wake up alone.
I was going to say it's the morning after Halloween.
Right, so she wakes up alone. She doesn't know where Vision is, and she doesn't care. Her son is complaining to her that, Mommy, I'm hearing voices in my head. And she's like, yeah, not dealing with that today.
Nope. So Agnes, being the great person that she is, the wonderful, reliable neighbor next door, she comes over and she's like, all right, Wanda, I'll take the boys off your hands.
Let you relax. Don't worry about it. Have a spa day, kick your feet up, all that good jazz.
So, as Wanda's chilling at home by herself, she kind of sees that, stuff's flipping in and out.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like losing control over everything.
Going back through time. But basically, yeah, she's losing control of her illusion.
Yes.
Vision, on the other hand, is having his own adventure with Darcy, who was caught up in the hex. Mm-hmm. She was a part of the circus, but Vision did his little filter thing and woke her up. And they're trying to make their way back, but every time they get like a foot ahead or a mile ahead, something else happens. That the hex is kind of keeping them away from Wanda at this point. Or we think it's the hex.
I was say, is it the hex?
So
yes. And meanwhile, on the outside of the hex, Monica is trying to find a way to get back into it so that she can like talk to Wanda, get through to her, understand what's going on, and see how she can help her. Essentially,
she got her space friends to make this little car rocket thing to push her way through the hex.
I was gonna say, it looks like a little Mars rover with like those big wheels. It didn't. But Monica, being determined as she is,
she was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go ahead and run headlong into it.
And she's like struggling. So we see her go through the hex for a third time.
Yeah.
And this is after Darcy has kind of warned her that like, this is messing with your molecules and all that good stuff. You already got
rewritten twice, going in and coming out, and now you're going back in for a third time. Like, and now she's going in. It's like different aspects of her throughout time, and then I guess maybe throughout reality. Who knows? But she focuses on and claims herself back and gets through there, and she kind of got powers now.
Yes. So then she
definitely has powers.
I would say definitely has powers now. So she immediately goes and tries to like confront Wanda and help her. Yep. But Agnes is in there like in her ear like, you don't have to go with her. Like you can come hang out with me instead.
Leave her alone. What are you doing? You don't belong here.
There was also a point where like Agatha was like, who are you? You don't belong here, and all this other stuff. And I was like,
yeah. Agatha's old school witch, hint, hint, wink, wink. So, Agnes still leads Wanda away, leads her down to her lair. Well, she leads her to the house at first, tells her to sit on the couch. Wanda's like, where are my kids? And Agnes is like, what kids? Which speak throughout the house. And, yeah, she starts hearing her kids screaming in the basement.
Yep.
And that's when all hell breaks loose, for more or less.
And then it's revealed that Agnes is the same person. So Agnes, the neighbor, is really Agatha in disguise, and it was Agatha Harkness, the witch, who was creating mischief all along. And I was like,
it wasn't just Wanda's powers blipping out or her losing control. No, Agatha has been purposely screwing with Wanda just for the heck of it. She's been kind of doing an experiment, trying to figure out how her powers work, and kind of like poking her with a stick. So, but now she's going full on therapy session in episode 8.
Episode 8, I just like trauma through the decades. I mean, trauma through the decades, years, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It goes through.
Wanda had a rough life.
Right? So it starts out with Agatha's backstory of her essentially possessing what we consider chaos magic.
Yeah. They assumed it was chaos magic just because she had a lot of magic that she couldn't control.
So then all of her, it's back in time, her with her original
Salem,
coven.
You know, the witch trials, all of that before then. Her mama, her cousin, all of them trying to, kill her. So,
yeah.
But I think they were trying to siphon her magic since she had too much of it. They were just going to take her from her and leave her as a normal person.
I think it's a mixture of that, and they were trying to like lock it away because she wasn't like doing good things with it. Essentially. Good.
And Agatha had this whole emotional spill to her. Oh, just teach me how to be good. I'm trying. What? She wasn't.
At all. She ends up absorbing the magic from her entire coven, and she's essentially looking to do the same thing with Wanda at the end of the day. That's what brought her here. That's why she's been poking Wanda with a stick
trying to see how her powers work, just so when she takes it, she won't have her same issues. So she's bringing Wanda down this therapy session because Wanda doesn't know what happened. She doesn't know how she got here. She doesn't know how she created this world. So we go back to when she was a child.
Yes.
Before the invasion over there with her people.
Where people's in Russia. Essentially, Wanda and her family, their kind of way of bonding was watching old sitcoms.
Hence the black and white in episodes 1 and 2.
And hence throughout this theme, throughout all of WandaVision. So, while they're all sitting down watching TV, their village gets bombed and death and destruction all over the place.
Cue laugh track. Ah, no.
No, that's so dark.
Well, the sitcom, the bomb, cue laugh track. You gotta put it all together.
That is so so the bomb lands in their living room and Wanda and Pietro are under the table, but the bomb never goes off. So at this point, Agatha like steps in and she's like, so clearly there was something going on here. There's a reason why this bomb didn't go off.
Some probability magic cast here. And Wanda's just like, no.
It just didn't go off.
It just didn't go off.
Like,
and then Agatha was like, everything bad that happened in your life that could have been worse could have possibly just happened to not be worse. You don't think that's magic? So she continues down her life. Mm-hmm. She gets caught up in S.H.I.E.L.D.
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Hydra. They were using the activists in her country who was trying to fight for change. And they used them as test subjects after they caught Loki's scepter and the Mind Stone.
And the Mind Stone. So they were running experiments on Wanda. She comes in contact with the Mind Stone. And it kind of like gives her a vision of like the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. No, so when she walks into the room, the stone kind of pops out the scepter. All their tests before, nothing happened with the stone. There was no reaction. Nobody could do anything with the stone. But when Wanda walked in, it literally removed itself from the scepter and went to her, gave her this vision, and it fell on the floor and Wanda collapsed. So
Wanda thinks that's where her powers originated from, but Agatha pops in and is like, no, this just like kind of
jump-started them. Yeah, it gave you like an extra boost to like your peak, and now you're evolving past that. So it continues on. After Endgame, Vision's dead.
Well, it goes before that.
The big old line that I can't even remember that Vision gave.
Grief.
What is grief but love persevering?
Yes.
Dope.
So it goes to her and Vision like chilling in the Avengers compound before the events of Infinity War and all that good stuff. And they were just like sitting, enjoying, and she like opened up about her brother, opened up about everything that was going on.
No, at this point, Vision isn't like the Vision we saw die. He's still a synthezoid. He's learning what emotions are at this point and how to feel them and how to connect with people.
Yeah, so they end up falling in love
and bonding over grief.
Yeah, and then of course after that, all the
Endgame stuff happened and Vision's dead. So, yeah.
So, apparently, they had intended to buy a house together out in New Jersey and continue to live their old life after they thought they were going to get out of the issue with that. Well, before that,
Wanda goes looking for Vision. You know, his body was never recovered. Well, she didn't get his body. She wants to bury him. She's his, what they call it?
Next of kin.
Next of kin. There you go. I knew it was some of kin. Next of kin. She wants to bury him, and then she finds out Sword has him. She goes. She puts up, the big threat. I'll burn the place down if you don't give me the body. They let him in. She goes see Hayward, the douche, and he shows her that they've already dismantled her. At this point, she didn't like break him out or anything like that. So the footage we saw at some point in the series was fake.
Hayward lied about Wanda like attacking Sword and like stealing Vision. All this good stuff. He was using
that as an excuse to go follow her and see what's going on.
Yep.
Vision was never taken. We see this is when she finds out later that Vision bought this house for them or this land that was going to build up this house, and that's when she goes to the plot of land.
Yeah, and breaks down and creates
the hex and literally creates Vision out of herself.
Yeah.
So yeah. Deep stuff.
So that's the end of episode 8. Episode 9 is like the grand conclusion and everything starts to come full circle.
At the end of episode 8, post-credit scene, we see Hayward has rebuilt Vision.
Yes.
For some reason, he decided to give him a white color scheme. Who knows? That a little color in him since he was made of vibranium and from Wakanda. But, whatever. So he figured out how to power up Vision with Wanda's powers. Yes. He got that done. Now we have a pseudo-evil white Vision at this point that he throws into the Hex. Wanda's fighting Agatha. Vision decides, I'm going to stop getting stopped by everything. I can fly. I don't know why I didn't do that 30 minutes ago, but I can fly.
Oh, my God.
He goes and flies to Wanda.
So while he's flying to Wanda, the white Vision comes in and is trying to essentially kill Wanda because Hayward is so hell-bent on destroying and killing Wanda for some reason instead of just giving her a chance.
She's too powerful. Look at what she did. She can be evil. And everybody's like, she's a freaking Avenger. But whatever. That doesn't matter.
So, essentially, Hex Vision and White Vision get into it, and then Agatha and Wanda is going off. They're fighting.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this episode. I'm trying to Monica's back and she's with the kids saving the town people.
Hayward was gonna shoot a bunch of kids.
Hayward's gonna shoot a bunch of children. Fake children. They can't do you any harm outside of this Hex. What are you doing, fat? Yeah.
Yeah, Hayward a hoe. Anyway, so the Vision part. So Vision and White Vision, while they were exchanging fisticuffs,
they got to a moment where dude, what are we doing?
What are we fighting for?
What is this? You got the white man controlling you.
Oh my gosh. So Hex Vision essentially gives White Vision his memories back. And he's just here's what you are. Here's all that you've experienced. Yeah. Here's everything that you've been through.
Being who Vision is and how he was created, his memories are encoded in every part of him. So even if he doesn't have the Mind Stone, he's still who he was, which was Shuri's theory in the entire Infinity War saga, and why she was trying to basically recreate a power source, which was a synthetic Mind Stone to give Vision, so they can just give Thanos the Mind Stone without getting Vision killed. That was a lot. I'm glad I didn't even realize that until you just put it together. So essentially, Vision goes off. White Vision goes off to do whatever. Yeah, we don't know what happens after that. Well, apparently there was a second post-credit scene at the end of this one that I didn't see, so and I'm not really going back and watching it. So.
Really? I might eventually. So that was going on. While that's going on, the Agnes and Wanda part is essentially they're fighting. Agnes is trying to absorb Wanda's powers.
Wanda's giving her everything she's got, and Agatha is just nah, get that off of me.
At one point, Agatha releases the spell from all the people in town, and they're all Wanda, bro, what's up with this?
What's going on? Can I call my dad at least? Tell him to go ahead and live without me. I'm dead. They were even at this point when they were free. They was just we know we can't run from you, so just kill me.
Not even just kill me. It was one point where a lady was can I just call my husband and tell him not to come back here? They just wanted to cut all ties and be done with whatever.
Because they didn't think they were going to be saved, quote unquote.
I mean, it's the Avenger that's hurting them. That was pretty messed up. So yeah. So at some point,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, and then at some point, Wanda puts the spell back up, and it's just all right, Agnes, we can go handle this, just me and you by ourselves. Leave them out of it.
Right. So she was dropping the Hex, and then she noticed as she was dropping the Hex, Vision and her kids were also dying. So she was can't do that. I'm not ready for that yet. I just had this intense therapy session 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Yeah. So she put the Hex back up, the big old incredible scenes, mom, dad, and 2 kids. Get ready for a fight.
And then...
Oh, yeah, she keeps fighting Agatha. She tries to put Agatha in this, mind sleeper hole that, a la when she was a bad guy and she tried to do it on the Avengers. And Agatha was like, ha, psych, I can do that.
Oh, the little, mind nightmare trick thing. Oh, okay, yes.
And she flipped it back on her.
Yes. And then they go back out into the Hex, come back to...
Reality.
Snap
back to reality. No.
And they're fighting. So Wanda then takes a page out of Agnes's book and puts up runes around the hex so that Agnes cannot do any more magic.
Yeah, you know, Agatha was taunting her. She thought she had it won. And she was like, come at me, bro. And Wanda was just throwing intense magic at her all along. She was putting up runes to make Agatha powerless.
Yes. So she then, like, which is kind of weird to me that, like, mind controlling people is what got you in this mess, but then Wanda's whole thing was like, all right, Agatha, keeps you placated, I'm gonna put you back in this spell.
Yeah, she realized how dangerous Agatha was, because although she won ultimately, it was, if she didn't know about the runes and locking away her magic, she could have kept hitting Agatha all day, and she wouldn't have done nothing. It wouldn't have done nothing.
And nothing at
Agatha
all.
was taking all of that to the face and absorbing it and making her own. Like, if she didn't lock her away, she probably would have got beat.
It would have been like I feel like, of course, Wanda is powerful, but for the time being, I feel like it would have kept going around and around and around.
Wanda has the power. Agatha has the experience. Like, at the end of the day, at least I think Agatha would have ultimately won.
Really?
Yeah. Like, although Wanda is, you know, supposed to be this reality warper and chaos magic queen or whatever, she's inexperienced. She didn't even know she was doing magic.
That is true. So, that makes sense. Okay, I see that.
I feel like Agatha would have figured out how to seal her magic away personally, just like Wanda did.
True.
My question is, she ultimately took down the Hex. So does Agatha have her power back?
I don't know. We don't know. So after Wanda locks away her powers, she then says, you know, has the hex coming down, moving from the outside
everybody's
in.
mess, you know, sends them back to their lives. She tucks her kids in for bed for the last time.
Yeah, says goodbye to Vision, and they're just like, oh.
Want another dark theory? Somebody pointed out that Wanda, since her son could read her mind, he knew what was about to happen this entire time while she was tucking him in. So he knew what was coming.
Dang, that's messed up.
Have fun with that, guys.
Yes, so everything comes down. The town of Westview goes back to normal. Yes. Of course, Sword is still after Wanda, essentially, because at this point it kind of is an act of terrorism. Although it was bred out of good intentions, you still had a town held hostage.
So Wanda is still broken because, you know, 30 minutes of therapy isn't going to solve anything real quickly. White Vision is all doing what White Vision people do. The post-credit scene we did see was Monica talking to the Skrull, and she going off to space to do something.
Go hang with Auntie Carol. Bye.
My theory is she's gonna make the real sword, the
intergalactic sword.
That sword.
Yeah.
That's my theory, at least.
I hope so.
So stick around for Captain Marvel 2.
We'll see.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Something's supposed to happen in Spider-Man 3. So yeah, all of that's coming out. Falcon and Winter Soldier starts next week, so get prepared for that. Anything else we forget?
Nah, thanks for coming and chilling with us today. And we will see you all next time.
Deuces.
Bye.
Hey everybody, co-host Peter stopping by to say thanks for watching and to let you know if you like this video, check out last week's video and the playlist with all of our episodes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when our vlogs, podcasts, and gameplays drop. It's been real, y'all.